Alright, well, hello everybody, and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda II, The Adventure of Link. Now, I happen to like this game quite a bit, but I'm not very good at it, so I called in some support. I have my buddy Madrax here recording with us.
Hey everyone!
Madrax is a friend of mine from the live stream, and in fact, the last time we were playing this, he more or less guided me through the entirety of the game, and we had such a good time, I thought we'd give it a shot recording it and getting it up on YouTube for everybody else to watch.
Long-time Zelda player here. I've played these games far too much over the years.
Well,
but
that's okay. I think these games are worth playing.
I know pretty much everything there is to know about Zelda at this point.
Alright, well why don't you tell us a little bit about The Adventure of Link?
Oh, released in 1987.
Like it says right there.
Yep. The Adventure of Link is the second in the Legend of Zelda series, and is generally considered to be the black sheep of the Zelda family. It's very different from any of the Legend of Zeldas, both before and after. You'll see, but it's very different. It's also one of the harder Zeldas. I like to say it's the Zelda most likely to kick your ass, and it's very difficult. Not unfairly difficult, but very hard.
Well, that's certainly what it did to me. It beat me around. In fact, this is actually take 2. This is the second time we're trying to go through this, and what did I end up like dying like 9 times? Alright, well let me read the text scroll real quick. After Ganon was destroyed, Impa told Link a sleeping spell was cast on Princess Zelda. She will awake only with the power of the number 3 Triforce sealed in a palace in Hyrule. To break the seal, crystal must be placed in statues in 6 well-guarded places. Link sets out on his most adventuresome quest yet.
Very interesting fact. This marks the first appearance of the Triforce of Courage in the Legend of Zelda series.
I know, and I forget about that all the time. I almost always think that, oh yeah, it was the Triforce of Wisdom, Power, and Courage in the first game, and that's why Link was running around fighting Ganon. But that wasn't the case.
Nope, the first game only contained power and wisdom.
Yep.
Zelda had wisdom, Ganon had power.
And Link was still somehow able to overcome him. Alright, and actually now we have to name our character, so we will name him Link. Now if I remember correctly, in the first game, if you named your character Zelda, you got the second quest, is that right?
Yes.
Now how about in this game, do you get any special extra things depending on what you name?
Not that I remember, though I could be wrong about that.
Alright, well that's alright. Link's a good enough name for our hero. Let's jump into the game. Alright, oh, and you may notice Link has lives in this game. Unlike the first game and pretty much every game after that, Link had 1 life, and if he lost all his health, he died, and then you would continue from whatever checkpoint you were at. In this case, Link has lives more like a traditional platformer. He even plays a bit like a platformer. And also lots of RPG elements.
Yes, Link can level up in this particular Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Not something that happens in any of the others.
And there's poor Princess Zelda, asleep right there, pulling the Sleeping Beauty. Now we're going to walk out of the palace here. And we're now in an overmap. This is probably more familiar to the Zelda players. And we can walk around, and sometimes we'll get attacked by enemies. We lucked out, we got attacked by a fairy.
Fairies, like in any Zelda, will still heal you when you encounter them.
Yeah. But it's not always so lucky, because sometimes we gotta go into these action sequences with enemies. And Link controls more or less the way you would expect. I walk left and right with the directional pads, I attack with the B button, and jump with the A.
And there's the old Zelda main plays. There's our moblins for this game.
Who are jerks. They're jerks because they don't give me any experience. Yes, those of you paying attention might have noticed that when I destroy some of these enemies, a number pops up. And that's the experience that Link gets for defeating them. Like in the case of that red slime, what did we get? 4? 2?
2.
So when Link's experience in the top right corner up there gets to 50, he's going to gain a level, which will give him a chance to power himself up a bit. And I've taken a hit, so I can't shoot my sword with power anymore.
Some Zelda things never change.
Alright, well here's our first stop. We're going to go to a number of towns to get hints and clues on what to do. Welcome to Hyrule.
That name sounds familiar.
Now, there are NPCs walking around, and from what I've noticed is purple ones
Sorry, I know nothing.
have nothing to tell us. We gotta look for people in red or orange. We can go in these houses, but the doors have to either be open, or somebody has to walk out of them. It's like this woman.
Return the crystal to the palace in Parapa.
Well, that's our first goal. There's a palace nearby.
Oh, my hip.
Oh, poor woman. Yeah, I got Madrax doing the voices, pretty much.
If all else fails, use fire!
Which, like I said before, that's good advice. When in doubt, just burn things down. Now, here's our healing lady, right? Please
let you help me. Come inside.
That made me a little uncomfortable. Alright. Now she's going to restore our life with sensual massage. We can also get our magic restored. And we gotta look for, what, an old woman in orange?
Yes, that is correct. Only the hammer can destroy a roadblock.
Yes, that's actually one of the items we're going to find a little later in the game. You may have saw that boulder that was in the road. We need the hammer so we can destroy that and get to extra areas in the game. Talk with my father before you leave town.
Yes, important thing in this game.
Ah, dang it. She closed the door on me. I wasn't fast enough.
Well, thanks, lady.
Nah, we'll have to come back. Oh, hey, kid.
Get candle in Parapa Palace. Go rest.
Yes, judge me by your size. Judge me by my size, do you?
Judge me by my size, do you?
Alright, now let's try this again. Now I'm going to sneak in right behind her. Because she wants us to talk to her father. And her father is an old wise man hiding in a fireplace. So down here in the basement is Grandpa, and he's a wizard. So we've just learned our first spell. We now have the spell of Shield, which when I use it, our tunic will turn red, and we will take half damage from enemies. You're going to see me using that spell a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the more useful spells.
Now that little
spell magic is a big thing in this Zelda.
In fact, we're going to learn a lot of spells, but only a few of them are really useful. Some of them only have uses in, like, one place in the entire game. Alright, now we're going to go up into this little forest here. So this just brought us into an action section. In fact, I think we got attacked by the enemies first.
Yeah, it's not the action section you want.
No. Let's try that again. Alright.
Yeah, there's another Zelda mainstay, the Keys.
Yep. Which I never remember the name of, and just call them bats. But here
they
is...
drive ya batty.
You can say that again. Well, in this game they do. In the original Zelda, they weren't so bad. Now here is a very important item. This is our bag of pee. It's full of points. And now we can level up our life. Now you might think leveling up your life means you can get more health. But in this game it's actually more like you level up your defense. So you can take less damage when you're attacked.
Though there are ways to increase your total life in this game, as we shall see.
Yep, there are some heart containers around. And here's another little village. This is the town of Ruto.
Another familiar sounding name.
Yes. Well, this one I do remember. Ruto was the princess in of the Zoras. In which one was that?
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, that's right.
Hyrule was also in Ocarina of Time. He was the old man that gives you the that you see when you first wake up after sleeping for 7 years.
Ah, okay. See, no, I didn't remember his name. Huh. And you told me a number of the towns and places.
Yeah,
Their
almost
names got
all
used.
the towns and a lot of places in this game are based off were used as character names in Ocarina of Time.
Alright, now here is the magic restoration lady.
Stop and rest here, Sonny.
Now our magic is already at full, so her sensual massage won't matter as much. But there are some people worthwhile to talk to here. Oh, here's everyone's favorite Adventures of Link character.
I am Error.
Yes. Now, I was under the impression that that was just some sort of screw-up. But isn't there someone we're going to meet at some point that says go talk to Error?
I believe so.
Alright. Goraya of Tarari stole our trophy.
Another Zelda mainstay. They're the boomerang-throwing dog people.
Yeah, we'll get a look at one of them real soon. Oh, hello, miss.
Use keys in palaces. They are found in.
Yep, just like the other Zelda games, we're going to come across a lot of locked doors. And if we want to get through them, we're going to need keys. Alright, well, we are done with this town. And we're actually going to go take a look at a cave down south. I'd like to stop here, because even though you can see that it's pitch black, and there's shots being fired at us, we can rack up some good experience fairly quickly, which can be real useful in the upcoming dungeons. And I guess now's a good time as any to start talking about some of the combat mechanics, because you can see that the attacks are bouncing off my shield. Now in this case, because the attack is going high, I want to stand up straight. But if the attack was low, I want to duck. And he dropped something. That was probably a magic potion, but since our magic's at full, we're fine.
Yes, the caves seem dark, but that's what you need the candle for.
And that's going to be our first bit of treasure we're going to get?
Yep, like all Zeldas, there are items to be found in the palaces or dungeons, as well as bosses to beat.
Alright, well, grinding down there is not such a bad idea, especially if you're playing this through for the first time. But I don't want to, make you guys sit here watching me grind for too much. In fact, you can actually rack up experience pretty quick without realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that happened to us when we were playing through it. We got to one point where we were like, 7 or 8 points away from experience to gain a level, and we were like, wow, we gotta go find another enemy, quick. Now, this dungeon is dark, but thankfully it's straightforward. So we don't have to worry about pits or deadfalls or dozens of enemies.
Only that one enemy in there.
Alright, now we are in the Parapa Desert. Bless you!
Oh, that was a cough, not a not a sneeze. I'm fine. Thank you, though.
Well, bless you either way. Alright, and there's our palace up there. I wouldn't mind fighting in the desert if there were actual enemies, but when there's just rocks being thrown at me, that's annoying.
It's all those Octo Rocks off screen.
Mm-hmm. Troublemakers. We're not actually going to go into the palace yet. We're going to travel south, just along the shoreline.
Like all Zeldas, very important to explore.
Mm-hmm. Because if we go down south this way, well, we are going to come across an action sequence, and I can't believe I forgot it. We want to be careful here, because Link will die if he falls in those pits.
Yes, Link shares a weakness to water, like with Sonic the Hedgehog in this particular game.
And those little bubbles there will knock us... Dang it! will knock us back. Oh, man.
Yes, one of the most important rules of Zelda II is to not die.
A reasonable rule to live by. Now let's see if I can do it right this time. Gotta be less afraid. There we go. Now you see this little clearing down here in the woods? Well, we're in another action sequence.
Yep, Hyrulean Stonehenge.
And that's what we came down here for. That heart. But there's also an enemy over there.
A Gorilla.
Yep, throwing boomerangs at us. So let's go take care of him real quick. Now getting used to the enemy patterns is going to be a big deal in this game. It's something I gotta work on. But let's grab our heart container. So now our health has been increased and been restored. Now what did we say? There's like 5 of those over the course of the game we want to find?
Yes, 5 heart containers, and I think 5 magic containers, too.
Alright, well I think I remember where
4 or
most
5,
of them
at
are.
least.
But that's the reason I have you around, to pick up my slack.
Yeah, most are fairly straightforward as long as you explore a little.
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 are sadistic, but most of them are fairly straightforward with a little bit of exploring.
Yeah, thankfully. Alright, let's start our first palace.
And everyone might remember this music.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of the times the palaces have these statues guarding them, and if you hit them, they'll drop an item. But I guess since this is the first one, no luck. Now, we went through this palace a little earlier, so hopefully this will be more or less a cakewalk. Now, these annoying little enemies here, do you happen to know who they are?
I don't remember their names. I've heard some people say they're the Iron Knuckles for this game, though
Huh.
I always thought they were a little too weak for Iron Knuckles.
Yeah. Well, those are the kind of enemies I don't like. The ones that don't give you experience. But that's
There's
the
another
kind of enemy
Zelda
I
mainstay.
do like.
Yes, another Zelda mainstay, Stalfos.
I like these guys. I like these guys a lot. Because they're easy to take on and they give you good experience. Alright, and there's our first key. So we just whack it with our sword to grab it.
That's how you collect things. You hit them with bladed objects.
Absolutely. Alright, slimes are back. Yeah, you can stay up there. Is it around here? No, I guess it's in the next screen, that bubble enemy.
Oh yeah, that should be coming up.
Alright, and there's our first locked door. If we didn't have the key, of course we wouldn't be able to pass through it.
And there's the bubble enemy.
It's another mainstay in the Zelda series.
Yep.
Now, we can destroy it, right?
Yes, they have a lot of health, especially this early in the game, but you can kill them. It'll take a while.
Yeah.
They're
Although, thankfully,
worth
they get stunned when you hit them.
Yes. They are worth 50 XP, so could be worth it.
But it's going to be a lot of hits.
Yeah, even with max attack, they take a decent amount of damage. Not nearly as much as they do now, but they still last a shocking amount of time.
Mm-hmm. And since it's going to more or less just stay there, we might as well. There's nobody else to bother us. So we'll try to take this one out quick.
And 50 XP is 50 XP. This early in the game, it's a lot. But interesting thing, when you get hit by them, they'll drain some of your magic too, as well as health. So you gotta watch out for that.
Well, thankfully
Speaking
our
of
magic is about to go up.
Yes, like leveling up your health, leveling up your magic doesn't actually give you more magic, it reduces the cost of the spells you have, so that they use less magic.
So you can see here, shield went from what was 36 to 24?
Yep.
So that's something like it's a third cheaper now.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that until I think you had pointed it out to me.
I think shield goes down to 8 eventually.
Well, that's useful. Because I'm going to be using shield a lot. In fact, I'm probably going to be using it really soon. Try to avoid these. Oh, really? There's a stupid fast one. Huh. If I hit it, it's stunned and it doesn't hurt us. Should try to take advantage of that. Jerks. Alright, so this bridge is going to disintegrate as we start walking across it, so we gotta run. But if I'm quick, I can grab that bag of pee. There we go.
Whew.
We are low on life. We're about to take on a tough enemy. Well, tougher than what we're used to at this point. We were just calling this thing a flail thrower, weren't we?
Yeah, I don't know what its monster name is, but I think those things are flails.
And good, we got our life back up.
Next level will be your attack.
Now here's another wonderful enemy.
Dark Knot.
Now these are the enemies that really kind of test me at any rate. The way they attack.
Very tough enemy. You've really got to watch where their swords are swinging and where their shields are.
Oh, I don't have a key. Oh no.
Well, at least you killed the Dark Knot, so you won't have to worry about him anymore.
That's true. When we come back, they won't be here. And the
Yes,
magic shield is off.
A lot of enemies respawn, like the slimes, but bigger enemies, like the Dark Knot, they won't respawn until you actually leave the palace.
Well, hopefully we're not going to have to do that. Dang it. Yeah, we'll take that, thank you. Well, we know where there's a key, so let's just go and grab it. Also give us a chance to earn more XP. Although I didn't do too bad against that Dark Knot, did I?
No, you did pretty good against that one.
Especially considering how I was doing the first time we went through here. I think I lost 2 lives fighting just one of those.
I think you're finally getting the hang of fighting them.
Oh, yay.
Ooh.
Look at that, 200
Nice.
XP. Every once in a while that will happen. The enemies will drop a bag, and we will get bonus experience points. Alright, there's a fairy over here, but I'm thinking maybe we should just let her stay. Because we may need her health when we come back. If we come back. Because if I remember correctly, there's a, what do you call it? There's one of those
Flail guys, yeah.
I don't know if there's a Dark Knot, though.
I don't think there was a Dark Knot.
Oh, I'm not doing good. You know what? Let's go get our health back. These dragon heads, they sometimes have items in them, too. Not that one, though.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have magic stuff. Don't... Alright, go visit that fairy.
So I'll be brave and not be a sissy coward.
But yeah, as far as the palaces go, this one's fairly straightforward. Not too much that you have to go around through.
Yeah, this is pretty easy by all standards.
I mean, this is a hard Zelda, but even the hardest of Zeldas, this is still the first dungeon, so it's not too bad.
Alright, here's our friend throwing flails at us. I can't believe I made it through. Come down here. Well, we picked up our key. We got 2 of them now. And look, a red potion.
Ah, you needed that.
Yes, that restored our magic to full. I think the blue ones, what, restore one unit?
Yeah, like 1.5 to 1. I could never tell, but not a whole lot.
But a red one, no matter how much you've lost, you get restored to full. which is going to be real important later when we start getting more and more spells. Especially
More
that
expensive
healing one.
spells. Life, yes. Probably right up there with Shield as one of the most important spells in the game.
Yeah, man. Dang it. Okay, so the enemies should be gone.
Or at least the difficult to deal with ones.
Yeah, the flail enemy and the dark knot. Dang it. I'm just walking into enemy after enemy here.
Sometimes it can't be helped. This is not an easy Zelda.
Yeah, but I'm also not very good at this. That's part of the reason I got you around. We've already used up our fairy. But looky.
Oh, the candle!
Now that we have the candle, all the caves will light up.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I die and lose all our lives, we'll still have the candle once we've collected it.
Yes, whenever you lose all your lives and you have to continue in this Zelda, you end up back at the palace where Zelda is, but you keep any items and any levels you've gained. You only lose...
Yeah, you lose all your experience that you've got at the moment. That's like the big drawback, is you lose your experience and you have to restart from the palace. And I know I was bringing this up a lot the last time we were playing this, but it's very Dark Souls like that. So what you're saying is Dark Souls is actually the sequel to Zelda II: The Adventure of Link. Yes. Dark Souls is the Adventures of Link of video games. But I do think it's very comparable in that there's a lot of getting to understand the enemy patterns. And the punishment for dying is, the loss of some of your experience and having to start over from wherever your last checkpoint was. There we go, that worked pretty well. Should probably go a little slower, so I don't end up walking into these enemies. Maybe I should go a little faster. There we go. Now, let's not force this guy back too far, because I don't want that dark knot showing up. There we go, and we level up.
Woohoo!
Now, our magic got restored, but our health did not. There we go. Ooh. Take that, thank you. Alright, now those curtains up there, that means boss fight time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to activate our shield, and we're going to fight our first boss.
And his name is Horsehead. He appeared in Captain N.
I wonder why. Now we gotta try to hit this guy in his noggin without getting whacked with his spiked club.
Yeah, he's not tough and he doesn't move very fast, but that club does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I can probably maybe take one more hit. But he usually gets knocked back if we can hit him. There we go. Alright, so this is what happens when we game over. Ganon comes back to life.
Yes, the reason Ganon's old minions are after Link is when Link killed Ganon at the end of the first Zelda and he turned into a pile of dust, Supposedly, Link's blood can be used to resurrect Ganon now, and that's why his minions are all after him.
But like we mentioned earlier, we get to keep all our items, so the cave now is all lit up.
Haha.
We can see this little beetle enemy coming after me. But it should just be a straight line now to fight the boss.
Yes, doors that you unlocked remain unlocked as well.
Although we might end up gaining enough experience between here and there to gain a level, or darn close to it.
Which, always a good thing.
That's one of the joys about this, is you can make it harder or easier on yourself, depending on how much leveling up you want to do.
Every stat each of the 3 stats has, goes up to 8 levels.
Yes.
After that, you get, leveling up after that just gets you 1-ups.
Yeah, you can actually go above the 3 lives that Link normally has, but once you game over and you restart, you're back to 3. Hop. Thought I was going to make it. Wait, the fairy's over here, right? Yep. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go and clear our path first. And come back, because I'm probably going to need it. Ow.
Still only 1 hit from him? That's not too bad.
A lot better than I usually do. Usually I get killed. Mirror you. Oh,
Ooh.
what do you know?
You're looking out this game.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Alright, let's put you down, and then we'll take out the Dark Knot. And we'll go get our health restored. Dang it. And our health has been restored.
Woohoo!
If he drops a magic potion, I will be very happy.
He's like, ha ha.
Huh. You know what? Let's go back and get the fairy anyways. Maybe we'll come across an enemy that will drop a potion for us.
Or not, because they're all dead.
That's a good point. Took everybody out. But I think I'd rather fight Horseman over there with as much health as possible.
One great thing about getting that P bag is you'll get another level from this, because you're always guaranteed 1 level anytime you clear a palace.
Yes. And sometimes it's worthwhile, if you're real close to gaining a level, just to go back into the dungeon and kill an enemy, instead of getting your automatic level. Okay. Bojack goddamn horseface over here. Come on, you. I'm hiding the corner. Only I get to hide in the corner.
Yeah, you can see how much damage he does to you when you don't have shield up.
Ooh, yeah, I can only take like 3 more hits like that. Although he's going to take something like 6 more hits. But like I mentioned earlier, if I can hit him, he gets knocked back. Alright, maybe 2 more?
1 more, I think.
Well, I can
don't
only
get
take
hit,
1
Green.
more, too. Oh, thank goodness. We get this cool little effect where we see Link's shadow. And there we go. That's the statue where the crystal needs to be placed. and health and magic is restored.
And
And
enough
level.
XP is given for a level.
Our attack
Bringing
goes
you-
up. Which is going to make a difference fighting these enemies.
Oh, yes.
And we don't have to go back the way we came. We can just walk out the back door. And there we
Palace
are.
is done.
Now it's just replaced by a big rock. Alright, so I think what we're
I
going to do...
believe those are moldworms.
Moldworms?
Moldworms.
No. Oh yeah, I remember them from the original game too. You had to take them out piece by piece.
Yeah. I think that's what they're supposed to be.
Well, that makes a certain amount of sense. But I think what I'm going to do is call in an episode here. And when we get together next time, we'll continue on. So, Madrax, I want to thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to doing more episodes with you.
Well, same here.
Alright, everybody.
Having a blast.
We'll see you in the next video. Take care of
See you,
yourselves.
everyone.